What is up, guys? Yellow Gamer here, and today I am bringing you guys a new series on my channel. Now, I gotta say, it's a bit funny getting back into it right now, considering it's been probably a few months or so until my last upload, and I didn't really give a full example of that. A few of you guys did contact me and talking about it, but if you guys have any questions about it, I'll comment it. I don't really want to talk about it. It's a long story, but either way, in this episode, you guys probably already know. You looked at the title, you looked at the thumbnail. It's probably why you clicked on the video. We're going to be doing a fantasy draft franchise, so I figured it's spring break for me right now, and I'd kind of get some time off from practice, from having to do some schoolwork, and MLB The Show just kind of recently came out, so I figured what better time to decide to start a franchise mode like this, and this is definitely something I enjoyed doing. I've always been a huge fan of the fantasy draft franchises. I'm sure you guys remember, but regardless of any of that, we're gonna go through here now. If I remember correctly from my last year's video, I got a lot of people commenting that they wanted me to be the Tigers, and those comments that said, "Oh, you should have been the Tigers," got all types of likes and everything like that. So, it's a hard way to see or have a full representation of what team you guys wanted me to be, but I figured that kind of spoke, or it definitely made some echoes. I definitely was hearing your guys' comments, so I figure I'll be the Tigers this year, considering that's what some of you guys wanted me to be last year. So Detroit Tigers, GM contract off. I don't think it'll be very fun for any of us if I end up getting fired, even though it's unlikely. I'm gonna try to have a pretty good draft. Also, if there's something else I remember, no, I'm not gonna change this here. If there's something else I remember quite well, it's that I got a lot. Okay, it's not a lot, but a pretty good amount of people did not have much liking for the picks I decided to make, in last year's fantasy draft franchise. I made a few jokes. Do we have like literally one of the last picks? Okay. Okay, well, I'm sure we can still make do with this. Oh, we can definitely still make do with this pick. Plus, we get back-to-back picks, basically. So we get two really good players. Let's see what players we missed out on. Give you guys a quick update on who got who. A lot of these guys really aren't all that good. I mean, Kenley Jansen, you got a closing pitcher. That's how the Angels. I'm an Angels fan, so I can say this from an Angels perspective. This is why we're so bad. We get to pick one of out of the top 3 players, they're gone. But you get to pick anyone else in baseball, and they choose to pick a closing pitcher before Chris Bryant and any of those guys. That's why the Angels are bad right there. Even though they are 5-2 this season, I'm going to a game tonight actually. I'm sure none of you guys really care a whole lot, but yeah. So let's look through here. Oh, is Corey Seager up here? Is he playing shortstop? He probably got picked if I think about it. Yeah, no, he definitely got picked. I don't remember name by name who got picked earlier, but I'm sure he's gone. Anyways, I don't like picking ace in the first round. My reasoning for doing that is they pitch 1 in every 5 games, and that means only really 1 in 5 episodes you guys are really able to see, or 1 in 5 episodes or so, maybe 1 in 3, 1 in 4, you guys are really able to see the person I spent my highest pick on. I don't think that's very fun for you guys. I think I had Rizzo before. He's a good player, but he's a pretty high pick. I drafted Giancarlo another time. He's a high pick, and that's the thing, is I don't really want to draft somebody I've had before. I feel like it kind of kills some of the, I don't know, some of the variety and uniqueness of the series. I feel like you guys would feel like you're watching the same thing over and over again. This obviously I could be wrong about all this, but I like watching YouTube videos. I like watching series. And I think if I consistently drafted the same players, it would have a certain level of monotony to it. And despite the fact that I do kind of want to do that because these are the best players on the board, I'm not going to do that to you guys. I'm going to try to keep you guys as keep it as fresh as possible. You know, I wouldn't mind Starling Marte. He wouldn't be my first, maybe the second round, but look, he's a 90 overall when you just take consideration his moral that's boosting him up. He's definitely got the speed. That's why I like him. He could be a solid leadoff hitter. But he wouldn't be my number 1 guy. My number 1 guy to get Nelson Cruz has great power, but he's 36 years old. Not really something I'm interested in. McCutcheon's really dropped off the map the past couple of years. Don't really know what's been going on with him. Trey Turner would also be awesome. Imagine if we had Trey Turner and Starling Marte and just had that crazy fast lineup to lead off. That'd be kind of interesting. But actually, if I think about it, I didn't get Giancarlo last year. I got Corey Seager and Carlos Correa. You know what? Yeah, no, we'll get Giancarlo then. We'll get Giancarlo and then we'll get one of these guys to lead off. So we'll get Giancarlo staying there. And let's see, who did the Royals get? They got DeGrom and Darvish. So it looks like the Royals are going to have the definitely a starting rotation that's to be reckoned with. I guess that's how you want to put it. Then for the second pick, obviously I wouldn't mind Rizzo, but I've done drafts before. I haven't done an offline fantasy draft, but I've done online fantasy drafts, and Something I do recall is I never really got a solid leadoff man. I didn't get any fast players. That comes back to bite you a little bit. But then again, I really feel like doing that again because Freddie Freeman's on the board, and I'm a huge fan of Freeman. Rizzo's on the board too, but like I said, I've had Rizzo before, and I don't know if that's who I'd rather have, even over Freeman. Even if I hadn't had Rizzo before, it's still a tough pick for me. So it's definitely between Marte, but center field has some depth. Shortstop doesn't. Shortstop doesn't have that much depth, and this is always something I put into consideration when I'm drafting. I always want to tell people about this because I highly recommend this when you're drafting players. Look at the depth of the positions you're drafting. Like, when I discuss that and what I mean, I'm sure most of you guys understand. But look at the overall drop-offs. You get 288s, and you get to a few 85s, a few 83s, and then it just drops off to the low 80s. But when you look at center field, a lot of mid-80s players here that I'm going to be able to select. Even if it drops a little bit, look, I can get Billy Hamilton. That's a leadoff player right there. 99 speed, 99 stealing. And there's a lot of fast center fielders, like Jared Dyson. I can get him to be a leadoff player. It's Rajai Davis, right? Either way, he's a little old, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of speed there. At shortstop, there's not a lot of talent or potential, and this is the same reason I drafted Correa last year. Got a lot of backlash for it, but I thought it was a good pick at the time, and I still believe it was the same, or I would make that same pick. The first baseman, there's obviously a slight drop off here. You see, it goes Freeman 88, 86, and Carson. I want to get either of these guys. They're a bit too old. I don't like getting anybody. 27 is kind of a limit for me, anyways. So I'm looking at a shortstop. I think I have to go with Trey Turner. Trey Turner is definitely my option here. He'll be my leadoff guy too. He's got that 91 contact righty. The only thing that sucks though about having this late picks, we got those two guys early on, but now we have to wait basically a full 2 rounds before we have a chance to get our hands on another player. So when we go over here, let's see what we can get. Nelson Cruz still on the board, so is Adrian Beltre, and those guys are talented players. Same with Encarnacion. They're gonna hit mad dingers, but they're just a bit too old for me. Same with Zobrist. He's a talented player. He's just too old for me to really want him. So I could get a starting pitcher here. I can get Garrett Richards, Aaron Nola. The pitchers are so low. Like, they're rated so low in this game. It's hard to have like an ace because all the pitchers are rated so low. If I got Aaron Nola though, that's a B potential. What's Joe Ross B potential? I can get Matt Harvey and try to rejuvenate his career, but he's already 28 years old. Or they get one of these 23-year-olds. It's crazy how that UCI tear, no UCL tear. Why did I say UCI? UCL tear really just messed up his career. That Tommy John surgery, all that stuff. And obviously, it messes up a person's career real quick. I like Gary Sanchez. He's a talented player. 24 years old, B potential. He does end up. I've sent him to leagues before though, and he does go into a really high overall if you just give him time to develop. We got D. Gordon, who can be a really, really nice player at second base because of his speed and his ability to swing the bat. Not the greatest fielder. Well, actually, no, he's got 86 fielding. His arm's not that great. His power obviously isn't there, but the speed and the contact definitely is. So here's where it gets kind of tough. There's obviously a lot of options here. Charlie Blackmon's a really good player. You get Billy Hamilton. A lot of center fielders though. A lot of center fielders I can get. So I feel like I want to get a starting pitcher here. At least one of them. And man, I like Richards a lot. As an Angels fan, he's probably one of my favorite pitchers, but I know I'll get some backlash. I don't like Aaron Nola. I used and one of my other franchises I drafted him, and he just absolutely sucks. Like, it's weird. Some people might be good with him. I'm just personally, I'm not. I give up all kinds of home runs, and the ERA just shoots through the roof whenever I'm using him. So I want to look at some of the pitches these guys can throw. This guy excels at limiting home runs. So that's something I need. For some reason, I'm not a bad pitcher, but a lot of people just happen to get home runs against me. That's like really it. I don't give up a lot of hits, just home runs. So I want to find a guy like this, Carlos Martinez, 25 years old. We're gonna get Matt Harvey. I think Matt Harvey has the most interesting storyline to it if we decided to draft him. See, does this guy have any quirks? Well on the road. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Carlos Martinez just to give up the home runs. I think that will have the biggest impact on me personally as a player. I mean, get the best reliever in baseball, but I don't think that's what I want to do. Do I want to get the? No, relieving pitchers aren't all that exciting. They really aren't, and obviously one of the big purposes when you make a fantasy draft franchise, you want to make things exciting. So, I'm not going to get him. Chris Carter, I get him with that huge power. I get Eric Hosmer, which is a really good first baseman. And I'll consider it. I got D. Gorin still up there. I got Polanco, I don't know. There's a few good left fielders here, but either way, I got I'm deciding between one of those first basemen, D. Gordon, one of these outfielders. There's so many outfielders that I don't really know what to do, but D. Gordon really seems the most interesting to me. Whenever I look through any of the pages, D. Gordon is the one that's really standing out. And I think that's why I have to draft him of all people. Just because speed really in all sports, or primarily all sports, speed kills. Speed wins you games. So I'm just go with him. Get that speed burst. And then let's see. For my second pitcher, been a little bit of a drop off between guys I can get. That's not that severe though. I get Michael Fulmer, 24 years old, A potential. I always feel like Fulmer could throw hard, but I might be wrong. Do I want Fulmer? Marco Estrada was an all-star, I guess. It's between Sonny Gray, Fulmer, and whoever this junk. I think I want to get Fulmer just because that A potential, it's appealing enough to make me want to get him. So we'll get our number 2 pitcher there, and then we will get. I don't understand why Hanley Ramirez is a first baseman. He was so good at shortstop when he was there. He was a really good player. We can get Chris Davis, that 97 power versus righty. 31 years old, but still, that 97 power versus righties is gonna. I would have a lot of fun with that. I would have a lot of fun with that. I know I would. Ooh, I do want to get him. Oh, he's 31 years old, but still, that's so fun. Same with Sano. Sano can definitely hit the ball. He can hit the ball a really far distance. I don't know if that's what I want to get though. I don't. It's just mainly because I'm not good with his batting stance. Some good center fielders out here. Like, ooh, who's this guy? Franklin Gutierrez and 91 powers. Oh, same with Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson would be a fun guy to get. I think I got him in a previous draft, but I'm fine with getting him again. He didn't play a huge role my last time I drafted him, so I don't think it's a big deal if I draft him again. You know what? Let's start getting those power hitters. Let's get Jock. I may be reaching for him a little bit, but you got to remember that if I don't draft one of these guys now, I'm gonna have to wait a full 2 rounds, and he probably won't be there the next time I'm up to draft. So we'll get Jock Peterson there. Chris Davis got drafted there. He got drafted by the Dodgers. So we got 2 picks here. I'll probably try to get one more pitcher to fill out my third pitcher. What round are we? 7. I think the relieving pitchers are going to start being taken soon. What if we got the 2 best relievers in baseball, Miller and Betances? Do you think that would really... I wish there's a way I could like physically communicate with you guys right now and see what you guys want to see. But we got the 2 best relievers in baseball. Obviously, I've been missing out on a few of these position players. That'd be a pretty valuable asset to have when you have 2 phenomenal relievers coming off whenever you need them. Sure, we can get Chris Carter a couple rounds from now. Most people already got their first baseman. This guy's got some pop. That's the only reason I would get him. He's not going to hit very high averages, but he'll hit some homers. And that's really what I'm trying to have some people that hit dingers. If you have 2 contact hitters that get on base, and then I'd rather, after you get 2 contact hitters that can get on base with D. Gordon and Trey Turner, at that point I'd rather just play the odds and hope that one of my power hitters connects to the ball, and then you get 2 or 3 runs every single time. So it's a weird formula, but I feel like that's something that could work. Now, I could be reaching here. I don't know when these guys get drafted, but I'm feeling like... I want to get these 2 relievers. Because they're like significantly better than everyone else. And one of them can be turned into a closer. So, you know what? Yeah, we'll get Andrew Miller. So we got the best reliever in baseball, which is pretty nice to have. Now, do I want Betances? I don't know. I could get some... I'm just glad I got that reliever, so I could get somebody else. Let's see. I'm looking at what other teams got, just to get an idea of what I want to get. Do I want to get Chris Carter? Do I want to be able to hit those home runs? I like Pedro Alvarez a lot too, but he doesn't quite have the pop that Chris Carter has. A little better fielder, but I'll probably make one of these guys just my my DH, to be honest. And I'll get a better fielding first baseman later. I don't know. Third baseman probably has some guys that can swing the ball or swing the bat too. Martin Prado with a 99 contact left is nice. None of those third basemen are really standing out to me though. In left field, we can get an A potential rookie though. Not the best stats. The stats are very just, I mean, they're pretty average, but 77 overall, 22 years old, and he's got A potential. We could get Schwarber, but I don't really want Schwarber, to be honest. We could get Ben Revere. He's got speed. He's got contact. Ooh, Ben Revere wouldn't be a bad pick. 95 plate vision. Don't know why he's all the way down to the 76 overall. That doesn't make sense to me. Like, when you look at his stats compared to even this guy, they look way higher. Is it just because of his arm? Okay, I'll probably get a Ben Revere. Or do I want to? I'll probably get another starting pitcher first. Let's get a Michael Waka, definitely. Is it Wacha? I think it's always been Waka. But I always feel like I'm saying a Walker in a Boston accent. This one's definitely a Walker. I don't like Tyler. This happens every time. Every time I scroll by his name, every single time you guys tell me how I'm supposed to be saying his name, I never get it right. We can get this guy too. 77 overall, A potential. I just get so I get so attracted by those rookies with the high potential. I like winning Rookie of the Year awards. What can I say? It was 4-1 with a 1.57 ERA last year. Yeah, let's keep it going. We'll get him as our third starting pitcher. It appears, yeah, Waka or Wacha, whatever his name. This is the relieving pitcher round. Okay. So I'm glad I got Miller then when I did, because all these relieving pitchers are they're getting taken quick. But I'm not gonna worry about those guys. I already got Miller. We already have 3 starting pitchers, so I think we're doing pretty decent on that end. When it comes to a catcher, I don't really care a lot about his hitting ability. I care more about their fielding and their arm. Because what's going to save more runs than almost anything else is your ability to throw out a base runner. But a lot of those guys with cannons already got drafted, because those guys are usually pretty high overalls. Oh, man. And none of them are really standing out right now. I could probably get one of them later. Chris Carter, though, still sitting there on the board, waiting for me to pick him up. Same with Kendrick Morales, can definitely swing the bat. 30 home runs last year. I remember he was on the Angels for a period of time. He was really good. This year, I remember, 2009 when he batted 306 with 34 home runs. I remember he was like the Angels' next big thing. Then this next year, funny enough, he hit a grand slam. I think he did like a walk-off grand slam or something like that. And he broke his leg. I don't know if you guys heard the story, but he broke his leg jumping on home plate, celebrating his grand slam. Kept him out about a season and a half or so. A really long time, and then he never really came back quite as good. Really kind of like sad story, but it was kind of funny at the time too. Even though I was an Angels fan, it was just kind of funny because, like, how do you break your leg celebrating a grand slam? It's just bad. Look at this guy, a top 50 prospect, even though he's 37 years old, and he's a wow. But no, he's not. He's 37 overall, not 37 years old. He's 25 years old. He's a top 50 prospect though, even though he's 25 and he's only a 37 overall. I don't get it. Oh man, I know I'm taking a long time here, guys. You don't have to remind me. You guys are probably looking at it thinking it's taking forever. So let's start hurrying it up. We'll just start drafting based off what I'm immediately feeling. You know, we won't take all kinds of time. So catcher, no Kurt Suzuki can swing the bat pretty decent. Carlos Ruiz though has got that arm. He's got the best arm out of anyone here, even though he's 38 years old. You know, James McCann can hit decent against lefties. He's got a pretty decent arm too. Do we want him? No, I want Chris Carter more than anyone else. I want a guy who's gonna be able to hit some dingers for me. So we get Chris Carter there. Trevor Story actually just got taken. He really dropped off. I could have gotten Story. But then again, I have Trey Turner, so. Let's get a starting pitcher. I like Trevor Bauer. I've always liked Trevor Bauer. We'll get him. And then oh, look at all these closing pitchers that are top 50 prospects. I can get Kazuhito Yamada. I don't know if any of these guys are real at that point, but a quality third baseman would be nice if there's any left. Not really. We can get this guy, 23 years old, a potential. Are you serious? He's got power too, and he's a lefty. So if you got high power, you're 77 over, and you got a potential, and you're only 23 years old. I'm gonna get you because he can develop into a really talented power hitter if I just play the cards right. If I just happen to get lucky enough. So at this point, let's see. I'm at round 13. I'll probably do close to 20 rounds. We're almost done. So focusing on things with Julio Urias, we can get him as our number 5 guy. Let's see. Also, when I look at the throwing arms, the players I got, they're all righties. So getting a lefty would be nice. It's probably something you guys were thinking about. It's definitely something I forgot to think about. And then as a closer, we'll just wait and get one of these top 50 prospects. I'll probably get the Yamada guy because he's 18. Or this guy, he's got the higher K9. But this guy is the less home runs. I don't know. I'll get somebody. I'll worry about it later. Let's see. Position players, all we need is a catcher. Do any of these guys have any potential to be anything? I remember Mike Zunino for a long time was projected to be a really good player. He just never really panned out. Was that the same with no. It's definitely Mike Zunino. Was Miguel Montero supposed to be really good too? Whatever, I forget. Baseball, it's hard to predict who's going to be good and who's going to not be good because there's such a long period of time between when you get drafted and when you actually usually produce at any level in the major leagues. No, we get Mike Zunino. Primarily because he had a slight amount of pop versus righties. So, oh gosh. Relievers are getting swooped off the board real quick. Same with starting pitchers. I'm glad I was able to get my rotation when I did. Relievers, so I probably want to get one more reliever. Looking for these young guys. A nice lefty reliever to pair with Andrew Miller would be nice. Look at this guy, Alex Claudio. He had the B potential too. Now I'll get a closer. It's definitely between. My closing pitch is going to be awful when you just look at this. The guy's 18 years old though. That's really. But this guy's not 86 break and 87 K9. But he's only B potential actually. Never mind. That's not as impressive. I wish I could check what these guys' potentials were. But if I had to compare between an 18 and 19-year-old, this guy has the better pitch ability, but this guy is younger. But 1 year is not going to make enough for me to discredit the fact that guy looks like he has better ability to throw the ball, so I'm going to give him the nod. I suppose I could always get the other one too and have one of them pitch in AAA and just compare the two. Yeah, I might do that. I might get one of them. At this point, all I'm really going to get is draft some top 50 prospects, honestly. Some of these top prospects at each position, because there's usually a lot of trade bait, too. I'll be able to probably trade for a pretty decent player if I get those guys. Get R.A. Dickey, a little curveball, or a knuckleballer. That'll be interesting. But he's too old. This game will have him drop off the map so quick. I can't have all lefties. This guy was a lefty too. Yeah, he's lefty. Chris Medlin. Oh, I remember him. I used to like him a lot as a pitcher too. When he was on the Braves, yeah, he was real good, especially this 1 year. He had 10-1 with a 1.5. And it appears he dropped off a little bit. It's too bad. I don't know what I want to get. Jason Grilly. Oh god, some of these guys are so old. Jonathan Bronxton. Or Broxton. Let's get him. Let's get Jonathan Broxton. That'll be interesting. And now we're going to see Ryan Zimmerman just got drafted. It's just weird to think, because for you guys who are longtime baseball fans, I know I always was. I've been playing MLB The Show since, like, I think I got my first one in 2009 or so. Either way, I remember back then, the first round, the number 1 pick would be like Ryan Howard. And for a couple of years there, Ryan Zimmerman would be a top 2 or 3 round pick. So it's just weird to think that if 2 bad years, if you just have a couple bad years, you just drop off the map a little bit. You go from being a top 2 or 3 round pick to drafted in the 17th round. It's weird to think how quick that drop off occurs. But let's get this Yamada guy as our second closer. We have 3 relievers, 2 closers, 5 star. I don't know why we have 2 closers still, but we got a pretty decent backup here. We'll probably get. We got one more top 50 prospect here that we'll get here at third base. And that's 20 rounds. I don't really see anything else as a crucial need here on this team. We got our whole lineup. Oh, one of those guys is going to have to be a DH, though. So when I'm DHing, is there any guys up here that just can absolutely crush the ball? If I'm going to guess there's going to be a guy who can crush the ball, I'm going to have to look at first base before anything else. Ryan Howard, should I do it? Oh, I don't know. Turn back the clock. 76 power is, I don't even know if I'd have him in the starting lineup, even with those stats. Is there anybody else who can crank a ball, which is decent? Well, I mean, Chris Carter's not really a fielder, so I get a really good fielding first base. Like Joe Mauer, if I can have him playing first base as a fielder, I'll just have Chris Carter be the DH. And Joe Mauer can swing the bat decent too, so I'll have Joe Mauer in the lineup. Okay, there we go. Because I don't want a first baseman who can't play defense. That's a lot of. They have to do a lot of plays. They're almost involved in. I mean, they're involved in a high percentage of plays. And so why would I want to get one that really sucks at fielding the ball? That really decreases the chance that I'm going to, I don't know, be successful in the defensive end, I guess. So we'll simulate the rest of the draft. We'll draft the remaining rounds, yep. And then we'll take a quick look at our roster right here. So we'll manual all this stuff. I'll probably change it as time goes on. We'll go straight to regular season. And scouting, we're not going to worry about that. Pitching rotation, we all have Carlos Martinez is our ace. 86 overall. Okay, that's not a bad ace, actually. I gotta be honest, it's not a bad ace whatsoever. Okay, let's see. So we got Carlos Martinez, Michael Fulmer at the 2, Alex Reyes is the 3, Trevor. Okay, you know, honestly, let's put Urias as the 3, so we can have a lefty in the middle of the lineup. Reyes is the 5 probably, and then Bauer at the 4, because Reyes just has the lowest he has the lowest overall of them, so I have to assume he's the worst. But he's going to develop, so he might end up being pretty good. Either way, while we have those top 50 prospects, let's look at this real quick to see. Do we score on any of them? We got this Jared Douglas guy. I don't remember. I'm just assuming my team drafted him without my doing. Okay, then they got all these top prospects. Either way. So we got Jared, and let's see between those closing pitchers which one's the better one. Oh, this is their top 50 prospects, so I guess they're just saying that, but they're not actually. Whatever. I'm sure one of them will pan out of these two guys. I guess we got Yamada in the majors right now to try to close out some ball games, but yeah. So either way, our lineup then is going to be Trey Turner leading off. I like that. That's what I wanted. Then D Gordon. It's nice having a righty-lefty switch. Then Giancarlo at the 3, of course. Guy's going to hopefully hit some dingers for me. We'll create Chris Carter the 4. That's a lot of power back to back when you look at that. Jock Peterson the 5, another guy with a lot of power. Joey Gallo, a lot of lefties here on this lineup. Joe Mauer, Ben Revere, and this random catcher who I don't know why he's playing. Mike Zunino. And I might have actually Ben Revere batting 9th, so it's like having a second leadoff guy because of his speed. 3 back-to-back guys with speed, so I'll play with this lineup a little bit more, you know, doing stuff like this and tiny things like that. But for right now, this is more or less what my lineup's going to look like. Then that's what the pitching rotation is going to look like. Obviously, we want Andrew Miller to get as much time out of the bullpen as possible, and then we have Claudio here, we have Yamada. I mean, we'll figure things out. I'm interested to see how everything works out. Yeah, but either way, that's how we're going to run things. Our first game of the season will be against the Chicago White Sox. We actually get our first bye day the very next day. So we'll have Carlos Martinez versus Dallas Keuchel. So you'll see us going up against a previous Cy Young winner in our very first game. So it'll be a pretty good test for us. It'll be against a righty, so it'll be nice to see what some of these lefties can do in our lineup, especially guys like Jock. So yeah, that's the end of this first episode. This first episode, of course, for the series, and the end of the fantasy draft. So if you guys enjoyed, please click that like button below. Make sure to comment your opinion of this first episode of this draft and everything. Obviously, there's a lot of comments you guys can give me, a lot of input on how you think the draft went, different things I should have done better. Just whatever you guys really feel like saying, just say it down there. I really have no worries, or whatever you guys want to say. I usually will try to get back to as many comments as possible, unless they're just extremely negative or just have no real purpose to them. But if you're asking anything, or there's anything you want to say, I'm always making an effort to get back to you guys. And lastly, subscribe if you haven't already to stay tuned to this series and other series I got going on. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate primarily a lot of you guys who do happen to come back and still check in, even though I've been gone for a while and I take occasional breaks due to school or other things of that nature. I do find it really heartwarming that you guys are still back here watching my videos and staying updated on my channel, even though obviously I struggle sometimes to stay fully consistent. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.